she blew into my office like a warm summer breeze and demanded for me to find an important letter of hers. I had a sinking feeling that I should refuse, but I just couldn't help it. First, I had to make her tell me the whole story. The whole story and nothing but the truth. And it wasn't pretty.
Stop.
I headed down to her apartment and the doorman left me in. The place was trashed and her prize letter was gone. So I looked around for what little clues I could find so I could catch the dirty thief. Unfortunately, the only clue was a mask that I recognized from a place downtown. So I quickly headed down to a bar. The bartender there was an old friend of mine, and after asking her for some iced tea on rocks, I inquired about the mask. She said it was one of hers and it had been stolen 3 nights before. Fortunately, she also had another clue for me. The envelope to the letter. Of course the thief had tried to frame him, but I wouldn't be fooled, especially not after I saw the smudge on it. So I headed down to an old friend. I asked my friend if she recognized the ink that had made the smudge. Sure enough, a dame had sold it to her a couple days ago, which gave me another clue. Our thief was a lady. Fortunately, it still wasn't a dead end. I asked my friend if there was anything else about the lady, and fortunately, she had dropped a key, which I recognized immediately. It belonged to the Grand Marseille Hotel, so I headed down to see the desk. When I spoke to the desk clerk, it all became clear. The key I had found, it belonged to room 107, also known as Miss McAllister's room. I knew it had to be her, so I stormed out to confront her. I confronted Miss McAllister, but she denied it all. I kept pushing and pushing, but everything she said were lies and I knew it. She refused to admit to anything, and finally, to get out of it, she fainted. So I sat down to think back on the day, think if I had missed anything. Maybe I was wrong. I thought back. First, there was the doorman, then the bartender, then the ink shop lady, and of course the desk clerk. Then it hit me. They were all the same. They were one person. It was the thief, and I had to stop her before she caused any more chaos. I hurried to the apartment, and sure enough, she was there, and holding all the evidence for us. So I grabbed it from her hand and dragged it out in a nearby interrogation room. I would get the truth from her if it was the last thing I did. So I drilled her for information. Under my toughest interrogation, though, she still didn't crack. I tried everything. So finally, I picked up the letter and read it myself. It was explaining exactly how she would steal all the jewels from a local jewelry store, and she was asking for help as well. I demanded her to tell me exactly why she had sent it to Miss McAllister. She quickly explained that it was supposed to go to her old mentor, not Miss McAllister. I then picked up the jewels that I had found on her when I walked in. She explained that they were Miss McAllister's. I demanded to know why she had them. She said that she had tied up Miss McAllister in her hotel room, so I rushed out to go save her. When I reached Miss McAllister's room, sure enough, she was there and tied up. I quickly undid her bonds, and she enthusiastically hugged me. As soon as I could peel her off, I set her back down on the bed and explained what happened, that the letter wasn't meant for her, and that her jewels were safe and sound. I gave them to her quickly, and once she understood it, and she was completely calm again, I gave her all her stuff and escorted her out. So with the confession taped, I easily put away her and a well-known criminal. It was a good day's work. I just wish I had gotten much more paid for it. It was worth more.